Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from SimpleProgrammer.com. And today we're going to talk about how to get practical experience writing code. For those of you that are trying to figure out how to actually get some experience, sometimes it's like a catch-22, right? This is, the name here is ISIS, okay? I'm not sure what exactly to do to gain experience writing code and honing my skills. I know it's a struggle early on, but I'm not sure how to start. What program would you recommend a person use to practice writing code? Does it depend on what language you use? Thanks so much for your time. And then he says, I'm self-taught. I've had a few formal classes in CS, more so languages than CS theory. So there's a few different things that I'd recommend. So first of all, what you want to do, and always when you're trying to learn something, when you're trying to do something, is you want to make it as real world, as practical as possible, right? So you don't want to, there's a place for deliberate practice when you're working on specific things, but the best way to really learn something is to just dive in, is to get started, to have some kind of real applicable problem that you're solving, right? So what I mean by this is, I think a lot of programmers make the mistake, beginning programmers, they make the mistake, or a lot of people in general, just when they're trying to learn something, is they come up with weird situations, or they try to solve, they look for little problems to solve that don't really apply in the real world, and so you're it's sort of a dummy, a straw man, like I don't know how to describe it, but it's not a realistic scenario, and so your training and your practice doesn't help you that much. So what I would recommend that you do is you try to figure out, okay, what is an actual problem that you could solve? Now keep it simple, right, and make an actual application for you that can solve that problem. And I always like to do things where I get multiple benefits, right? Multiple results from what I'm doing. So if I'm going to do something, I want to have multiple things that benefits that I'm going to get from that. And so what I mean by that is, so let's say that you're going to write an application. Okay, why not pick an application that solves a problem for you? Okay, that's result number one, and it's going to teach you how to program in your programming language. Like you're gonna learn by doing that. So that's result number two. And maybe it's an application that you could sell, maybe say an Android or an iPhone application or a web application, right? Maybe you're not going to make a lot of money, but maybe you could sell it. So that's benefit three. And maybe it's something that's good enough that you could put in your portfolios to help you get a job. So that's four, right? You see what I'm saying? So what you want to do is that sort of, it 4x's the value of your time, because you're going to be able to get all of those benefits from the same thing. So try and figure out some projects that you can work on, right? I mean, maybe it's something as simple as organizing your CD collection. I don't know why you still have a CD collection. You need to get iTunes or whatever. But if you got something like that, right, or whatever it is, your stamp collection or comic books, I don't know, something simple, right, that you have a problem with, that you can solve, that you can sell. And it doesn't matter if someone's already done it, and if someone's already done it better, you can still sell something for 99 cents. You can still just put it out there and see the goal. You don't have to like stress about it and be like, oh, I've got to make money on it. No, just have that possibility, right? It's going to be crap, right? You're just learning. That's fine. It's fine. But you're going to learn so much more by actually solving a real problem that you have than you will by any other means. These forced practice problems and whatnot, they can be good, right? Especially for deliberate practice, when you're like, okay, I'm really bad at this area, so I need to do a bunch of problems that will help me to solve this, to get better at this thing. That's fine. That's cool. You can do that. That's called deliberate practice. Musicians practice scales, right? They do all kinds of stuff that's deliberate practice. Boxers practice, hitting the speed bag. But the thing that's really going to help you learn, that's going to give you the biggest boost, right, when you're starting out. Now, when you're an expert, deliberate practice becomes more critical. But when you're starting out, it's actually real-world application, real-world development. So create a project. Do your own project. Start working on it. I'll give you one other tip real quick here. So if you want to get experience working with a team and working with other developers, go look at open source projects. Go to GitHub. okay? And look for projects and start contributing. Start contributing by doing the kind of grunt work that no one else wants to do, right? You gotta sweep the floors, you gotta mop the floors, clean the toilet. You know what I'm talking about. Stuff like maybe writing documentation or picking up stuff that no one else wants to do, and you're gonna be able to get in that way because someone will let you do that. You can't take the glamorous jobs first. So that's really the key thing is, my emphasis here, again, there's lots of ways that you could do this. I could give you tools and recommendations, problems, but that's not going to help you so much as let's think principle-wise. Principle-wise is one, I want to do real-world application stuff, something that actually solves a real problem in the world for me or for someone else, and creating a real application. That's the best way to practice your coding. And number two, you want it to have multiple benefits, right? What type of thing can you do? What kind of project can you work on that's going to benefit you in multiple ways? And I just gave you a few, but you can come up with your own. But that's kind of the key. This way that you're maximizing your time and you're able to learn as quickly as possible. All right, that's all I got for this question. If you like this video, go ahead and click that subscribe button below. And I got one other request for you. If you notice this shirt that I'm wearing and you want to get one of these Simple Programmer shirts, Trust the Process shirts, trusting the process is all about not focusing on the results. When you're learning to become a programmer, this is something that you might want to have so that you can look in the mirror and remind yourself that you just need to trust the process because you'll eventually get there, right? But if you're so focused on the results, and I created this shirt for me because I get focused on the results and I need to remember to trust the process. That's been the secret to my success. So I look in the mirror and I see the shirt and I say, okay, trust the process. So if you want one of these shirts, go ahead and click on me and you can buy one of these shirts and I'll get it shipped right to you. All right, take care and I'll talk to you next time.